Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. With the return of the Final Fantasy XIV collaboration, we have two new characters here, Lars and Yudil, and I wanted to do a fashion check for them. This is going to spoil the polls that I did in the previous video. Have a look at that if you like. I'll link to that below. But yeah, these two costumes I was very interested in getting, because I felt like I had some things to say about them. Like Noelle and 063Y, they look very cool, but I'm not an expert on plate armor, so I couldn't really speak as an authority on it. But I know more about men's fashion and then kimono, so we can talk about these two guys. Alright, let's talk about Lars first. First order of business, is his hat the correct size? People know that I care about this very much. Let's look at it from the side. If we look at it from the side, this is actually a good fit. I talked about this in a previous video, but where you want the hat to hit you on the front is on the forehead, above the eyebrows, and then where you want it to hit in the back is the kind of the part of your skull that sticks out the most. So this actually works. And then there's enough like volume around the top of the head that it looks like it has good balance, you know, top and bottom. You don't want a hat that's too small, just makes your face look fat. However, looking at it from the front, there is a lot of empty space on the left and right. Lars could probably stick his hands up in there. They probably did this, you know, they made the model like this just because Lars has so much hair, and then the hat has to go around the hair. But this could go one of two ways. One, it could be, you know, more form-fitting around, and it would kind of push the hair in, give him hat hair. Or Lars, he may have like an oval-shaped head. If you look from the top of his head and you look down, it would be longer than it is wide. And so actually the hat, it might be hitting him in the front and the back very securely, and then with like open space on the sides, and maybe that's what's letting his hair sort of look uncrushed here, I guess. But yeah, good job with the hat. I wish Griff had this good hat action. Alright, but let's look at the rest of the costume. This strikes me as very French, kind of Three Musketeers-ish. Alright, that's the whole thing there. Got some thigh-high boots, that's very unique. Expensive too, that's a lot of leather to use. Let's look at the boots more closely, actually. But we got a kind of a pointy toe, or rather pointy toe, and then a heel on there. I think one misconception that people have about pointy shoes is that people think that people's toes are very crushed in the front. But no, that point, that's actually in addition to like what a regular shoe would look like. So there's a lot of air in there. The toes, you know, they only come out a little bit farther than the widest part of the shoe. So yeah, these shoes can actually be very comfortable. And then when I finally do a fashion check for Demas, I want to talk about cowboy boots, and then kind of talk about the reasons why, you know, why they have a heel, why they have a pointy toe. I won't talk about that here. Alrighty. Trousers look pretty normal, although I wonder what these kind of black things on the side are. They look like they're more of a part of the boot than they are the trousers. Are these garters to hold up his boots? Wouldn't be necessary with thigh-high boots, but whatever. And then we have, I don't know what you call this, like sexy belts around the thighs or whatever, just to give a just the impression that he is wearing something sexier, I guess. Okay, here's the coat. Looks like another double-breasted, although this might be ornamental. These double row of kind of gold fasteners here. On the shoulders, he's got a little bit of a kind of leather trim there. What that does, it kind of accentuates the shoulders, makes it look broader, you know? Lars doesn't have very broad shoulders, so he can use all the help that he can get there. And then, yeah, this was super interesting. But it looks like he's kind of wearing a corset detail in the back there, and then a bustle. A bustle is a thing that we would see on women's dresses back when like a big ass was in fashion at the time, and they would wear these kind of ruffles along the rear. Men did not wear this, as far as I know. So, yeah, this is a nod, I think, to the fans of Lars that kind of consider him like a girly boy or a pretty boy. Alright, and I think that's all I have to say about Lars. Very cool costume. Very glad I got him. Okay, next let's talk about Yudil. He is also wearing a hat, which I'm very happy about. If we kind of look in here, this actually looks small by Western standards. But we look at the headband in the front. Doesn't come down the forehead very low, and then in the back does not hit the part of the skull that sticks out the most. But actually, for Eastern hats of this style, it's kind of common to have like it kind of resting on the crown of the head, and then the way that the hat stays on the head is with kind of like a chin accessory. So I wouldn't call this like too small, but it is missing the chin fastener. I don't think that would look very cool though. All right, and then this Yudil is interesting because he's kind of the first male character to be wearing a kimono in this game. We've had some like New Year's Leon or 063Y, but they are maybe very modified, you know? They look very modern, or they're very covered with the Hakama poofy pants. But here we can look at a male in like a full body kimono here, so this is very exciting. This is something else that I really wanted. First thing, I guess we can point out, the proportions, they look right as far as the length. I talked about in other previous fashion check videos for women's kimono, they're all the same length as far as the body, and then what you do is that you tuck it under the obi, that sash going through the middle, in order to get the right length. But men's kimono are made and then cut to fit the wearer. So there's no tucking under from top to bottom. This is the length of the kimono. Yeah, so lengthwise, ankle-wise, that fits him. And then length of the arms as well. They also measure this when they make a kimono. So yeah, this is probably a custom-made kimono for Yudil here. Looks like he's got the sleeves. Let's see if we can get some animation on him. Get him to extend his arms. Let's see if these sleeves are accurate. How's that looking? Okay. If we look at it like this looks like more kind of like a bell sleeve rather than a kimono sleeve. So that's too bad. I am a stickler for accuracy. I mean, especially, this is Japanese people doing traditional Japanese wear. Come on. Okay, that's too bad. But anyway, getting back to the kimono. Here in the front, we see this kind of like kind of brown panel with writing on it. This is typically not here. What this is maybe they cut out part of the kimono and then added that panel in there. Either that or that is like a very large slit with added fabric. This might be helpful for a fighter so that they can be more mobile with their legs. And then in the back we can see this too. There's like a part of the kimono sort of cut out. We can see the little diamond pattern there on the bottom there. That might be for increased mobility. And then the obi, this is the sash tied around the middle. It is narrower than a woman's obi. This is accurate. However, the position of the obi is a little bit too high. You do want it higher on the women's kimono, but for a men's kimono, you want it actually hitting the hip bones or getting below that. That'll keep it in place better. So this is, you know, above Yudil's belly button, so too high. But this also might be something for more mobility around the legs area, so that's understandable. And then around the neck, looks like he has a additional kind of like scarf or muffler around there. And then footwear. Let's see if we can get the animation again. This looks like... This is not geta. Geta is like that block of wood. This is a setta, I think it's called. It's a lower sandal. Either men or women can wear it. No socks is interesting. No tabi socks. Okay. And then let's end the video by looking at just kind of accessories, ornaments. These gloves, these kind of look like maybe gloves you would see on a samurai armor. It's got that kind of guard on the back of the hand. And then around the middle, maybe this could be like prayer beads. Oh, interesting. We got some hilts of swords. Perhaps these are for other weapons that he uses, or perhaps these are trophies that he took from people that he slew. Maybe some money there too. In the old days, all Japanese money had holes in it, so it was easier to kind of carry around. These days, there are 2 coins with holes in them. They're more just kind of like throwbacks to those old days. People now have wallets. Okay. I think that will do it for the fashion check. I was very happy to be able to get these 2 guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.